Okay, Rod, so we take on Gloucester City at Evesham on Saturday. After the East Thurrock game last weekend, you suggested that this game will be quite similar. Is that still how you feel now?
Yeah, definitely. They're obviously a team fighting for their lives down at the bottom of the league. I think they've had a new manager in, and I think they've now sort of put some very good results together. So that's always a danger. But just looking at the conditions down there, what I remember, I don't think it's going to be a spectacle for a great game of football. I think it's about us having the right mindset, getting off the coach, prepping right in the warm-up, giving it our best for 90 minutes. And it's definitely not a game that I'll take lightly, because I just know that, as I say most weeks, teams in this division, always become a tough opposition. And I don't expect that to be any different on Saturday. And, as I say, we played East Thurrock last Saturday, and that was very tough, and that was at home. So, we'll be ready, and we'll give it our best shot.
So Gloucester have a very young squad courtesy of their academy. They've already had a few managerial changes so far this season already. Do you see this as a slight advantage, or is it just normal business as usual for you?
I think sometimes when you give these younger players the opportunity, obviously they thrive on that. They may come up a little bit short with a bit of inexperience, but they'll make that up with a bit of work endeavour, and definitely the right attitude, that they'll be given a chance at a young age to play at a good level. So for me, they're always going to be dangerous, because sometimes these youngsters will just run for fun. So we've got a good enough squad to go down there on Saturday and bring back the points. But as I say, if the boys don't go there and work as hard as the opposition, sometimes your quality can go missing on the day. So if we can get it right, get the game plan right, and we can work hard, compete with that, I think physicality would be fine. It's just really about whether we take our chances. And from what I gather, that they're going to be a team that are going to look to counter us. With that youth and that pace, they can be a threat. And I think they've got the lad on loan from Forest Green, who we know can be a real threat as well. I watched the corner on over the weekend that they scored at Hampton and Richmond. Well worked corner. So they're not just a team that have just got that sort of work environment around them. They've got the quality where they can pull out set pieces, which obviously got them the 3 points at Hampton. So I also feel anybody that goes away to Hampton and gets a win there, I know that obviously they've had a bit of an up and down season, but it's still a tough place to go. I would think they would fancy us on their own patch. As far as I'm concerned, any of the teams at home should always have that advantage, and no doubt Gloucester will use that on Saturday. But we've got to go there and we've got to take the belief away from them, and make sure we're clinical in front of goal and we don't give away no silly mistakes, and yet we concentrate for 90 minutes.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier in an interview this week that we've got a few injuries at present, including Joe Anderson, Ches Isaac and Adrian Kashkaval. Does that give other players a chance to shine and show you just what they can do?
I know what they can do. Obviously, it's not easy for a lot of the players because they've not had as much game time as some of the others. But, there's no point us panicking. Yes, we have got a few missing. But as far as I'm concerned, we are a squad. And I've got no problems with whoever steps in and does a job. Last week, Max Porter went in and done a job for us in replace of Ches Isaacs. I've got no fears or no problems with them stepping up and doing a job for me. It is an opportunity for them boys to obviously, make it difficult that if they do play well, that we shouldn't really bring them out of the team. Although I will say that does sometimes happen. But whoever steps in, I expect them to step up to the standard and, make sure that we get back on that coach and we've won the game of football. So, as far as I'm concerned, opportunities will always arise. It's just whether people then take them on the day. But as I say, I'm sure everybody's mindful. We're trained tonight. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't pick up any more little niggles. We get ready for Saturday. And Saturday's the biggest game of the season for me because it's the next game. So, we don't want to sort of do all what we've done so well recently, and then all of a sudden we can't have a blip down at Gloucester, because it just, we can't afford to do that if we want to stay in this challenge.
Cool. Thanks for that. So with the injuries that we've got at present, is it possible that we might see Amos Nasher come back from his loan spell early, or is that just a case of wait and see how we do results-wise and fitness-wise?
Yeah, I don't want to disrupt. Taylor's obviously come back, so I think Amos has, unfortunately for him, whilst he's been at East Thurrock, he hasn't had a run of games. It's been a little bit up and down for him because he wasn't able to play against us and he wasn't able to play in the Essex Cup. So I would have liked to have seen him had more game time there, but that's no fault of anybody's. But for us at the moment, Taylor's come back in. There is other loans out there that are available, but what you have to appreciate, we are only going week to week at the minute. So, you know, there's no real urgency in bringing them back unless we had a real crisis. I don't see us having a crisis at the minute, but we have got 2 or 3 little niggles that we need to clean up, and hopefully we'll be fine. But if it got any worse than that, then certainly I'd have to relook at maybe recalling the loans. Unfortunately, we have got 24-hour callbacks in them loans, so you know we have got that depth really around us. But I don't want to take them out of the clubs that they're at because they need to be playing football, and obviously I don't want to. If I can help it, I don't want to upset what they're doing at Bishop's Stortford and East Thurrock. So for us, we won't be bringing anybody back. But maybe if we stand here next week or the week after, then that may be a different case.
Okay. And finally, the attendance last weekend was 1,358, courtesy of some school visits and other schools coming back from the Hungerford game. That must please you a lot. Maybe just the atmosphere was missing.
Well, I think the atmosphere was probably missing a little bit because it wasn't a game really that we could get the crowd going. The game was a very difficult game. The pitch was very difficult to play, and I think for both sides it was like, you know, who could score and who could keep a clean sheet. Unfortunately, we done both of them. So I don't think it was what I call an entertaining game of football. As far as what's going on at the club and the crowds are getting to that, whether it's via people coming in with schools or whether we're just doing more marketing or whatever the case is massive, you know, because this place should be getting them type of gates on a regular basis. And I have to say fair play to the supporters club and the likes of Chris Whelpdale and Aaron Cosgrove that have been going out there and trying to make this happen for us as well. Both of them being local lads have been able to sort of put a bit more input in than the others. But I think Luke Howers has done amazing. And as I say, for all the hard work and effort that's gone into that, it must be really pleasing for them guys to see that there is, you know, the result of the figures last week was very good for what I would call a derby, but not probably a well-supported derby. Although, you know, East Thurrock probably brought a few on the day. But yeah, no, I think that's going in the right direction. I think the club's going in the right direction, and I think hopefully one day we'll be looking back and that sort of gate would be a low gate. That's what we're aiming for. But as we all know, Chelmsford's a massive city. It's growing really fast. And this football club has got to get itself out there, and that's what the boys are doing at the minute. So whilst they're doing that, we've just got to carry on trying to get results on the pitch. That obviously gives people a bit more incentive to come back as well to watch a winning team.
Cool. Cheers, well, thank you very much, Thank you.